There you go.
There you go.
I didn't really know what to talk about tonight, so I want to talk about posting. I know a lot of you people, like Sarah, she's probably different areas. Sarah is a donkey at posting. I know a lot of us struggle. I know when I first started, I was like, Parisa, is this okay? Which is fine, but becoming better at that and being independent doing it is a really good skill to have, because that's where you get your business from. If your posts aren't strong and people aren't attracted to reading through whatever you have to say, it's out the window. So I wrote down the apps that I use, and I asked Parisa what apps she used that are really helpful for our business. So we made a list. And I know a lot of you already use some of these apps. So we use Photify for photo editing. With Photify, you can use a lot of different things. I know that you can, add text to your pictures. You can edit them. You can make collages with it. I add logos to mine. All different kinds of things you can do with it to make it appealing to the eye. If I'm doing videos, or if I'm doing a video and picture, I'll do pick, play, post. So you can edit the video to whatever segment you want of whatever you recorded, and then you can add music to the background of it, or you can delete the background of it. And then I recently, last night, last night, I struggled with finding a way to post throughout the day. So when I got really busy, with school or whatever, I would lack my posting throughout the day. So I would post, when it was convenient for me, but that when it's convenient for me wasn't always necessarily when the best times were for people to see things. So I looked online to find an app that would schedule things to be posted for me automatically if I wrote them in advance. And Buffer was a really good one. You can link if you have a Facebook like page, or if you have a regular Facebook page, you can link them to the app and you can schedule posts, and they'll be in there. So then you can you just set the time and it'll automatically update it, which is really helpful if you know that you have a really busy day or busy week coming up. I use InsTrack. It'll track your feed. So it's the insights. If you have a Facebook like page, it's the insights that are telling you who's looking at your page, when they're looking at it, the demographics of who's looking at it, where they're located, their gender, their age, all those types of things. But it's for Instagram. So you can tell who's recently followed you, who's unfollowed you, who blocked you. You can see all those different kinds of things, which is helpful because you always want to have more people who are following you on the daily that are unfollowing you, is the way I look at it. So the more people that are following you, obviously you're having more volume throughout your page, which I found was really helpful to look at, because I follow a lot of random people just because, they're either diabetic or something like that. And if I follow them and they follow me back, but then they unfollow me right away, I'm not going to follow them unless I'm really intrigued by them. It's a waste of my feed, because it's obviously the way that what is it called now? That they only show you what I don't even know what it's called. They only show you what they think that you want to see. So having the extra junk in your feed is just useless at that point, if they're not even interested in what you're posting. PicStitch is another good one. And then Parisa likes InShot for her videos, which is just basically pick, play, post is the same thing. BB Links, which I'm pretty sure all of you know about, which is really helpful to have on your phone. So say you're talking to a person and they're not interested in a challenge pack or Shakeology Home Direct. They're just interested in the 21-Day Fix DVDs. You can add your coach ID to the queue, and you can go to the 21-Day Fix DVDs, and it'll copy a link with your coach ID, and you can send that to the person so they don't have to go searching through your website, because that'll just cause confusion. You don't want to do that. So it's a really easy way to be able to send information to people without them getting overwhelmed and just backing out of the sale. I use the 21-Day Fix app, which tracks, everything you do, and then Beachbody On Demand, which is just what you have on your TV or whatever. And then me and Parisa were talking that another good way to be able to like improve your posting skills is to follow the top coaches in the company. So the top coaches in the company, they're obviously successful. They get their market from, all different kinds of people through social media. So just looking at their posts and, looking at the posts and like just making your own with what they're posting too is a really good way to like start yourself doing it. So Melanie Mitro is the top coach in the company, I believe, and she is really, really strong posting. She doesn't necessarily post about Beachbody all the time. It's about like her life and everything else, but she has a way of like sprinkling in Beachbody throughout whatever she does. So if you have trouble with that and you're just solely posting about Beachbody, definitely go look at her Instagram and it might be able to give you a little bit of help. Lindsay Mattaway is another good one. Ashley Campos, I don't even know how to say her name. I know that Sammy, I know that you would like her. Anita Myron. A lot of people like Bonnie Engel. I'm not a big fan of her, but, she's up there. And then Trey, how do you say his last name, Parisa? Barrier? I don't even know. But he's, like, super funny and down to earth. So do that. Okay. That was, like, all I really had for, like, improving your posts. So I'd asked you all what you, like, needed help with. And Sarah came back to me and was like, hey, I'm reaching out to people, and I'm following up with them, but they're just kind of ignoring me. And I know that's, like, a big issue. I mean, I still get it. And it's frustrating because you're like, I'm seriously, like, I'm trying to talk to you. And I know you see what I'm seeing, like, what I'm posting. Just talk to me. So don't get discouraged when you don't get a response. I mean, I can't tell you how many messages I have in my inbox that don't have responses. And you can see when they view it, and it's frustrating because you want to be like, I can see that you viewed it. Why aren't you responding?
That annoys the hell out of me. Like, you read it an hour ago. Respond.
Yeah, or you can see they're posting, like, on Facebook, and you're like, really? Can't respond to my message? But my biggest thing is, I noticed, Sarah, when you sent me your screenshots, is when you follow up with somebody, don't necessarily follow up with them about Beachbody. So if you've had this conversation, you've dropped a message saying, hey, would you like to join me on my fitness journey, blah, blah, blah. Don't necessarily say, hey, I know we talked about Beachbody and I know you're interested. Did you get a chance to, look at the email I sent you, or did you get a chance to, do X, Y, and Z with Beachbody? Don't say that. Just be like, hey, how are you today? Because then they're not, like, on the fence if they didn't do it, because a lot of people do get defensive if they haven't done it. They're like, crap, she's checking in on me. So when you follow up with people, start like that, and it usually gets the conversation rolling, and then somehow or another they'll feel like if they haven't done it, they'll feel kind of guilty that they haven't done it. So they'll be like, I meant to do it, but I haven't done it yet, and I'm going to do it later today, blah, blah, blah. But that just gets the conversation started, so it's not so, like, salesy. And another thing is definitely, I know some people you can go directly into the sale. Like, you can definitely, I don't know. I feel comfortable talking to certain people, just be like, hey, I do this Beachbody thing and I love it, and I think you love it too. But other people need that extra, like, cushion of building that trust first. So you have to decide on what person that is. Do they need that extra area for you to form them and figure them out and, catch up with them and talk to them? Or can you just jump right in? So you have to figure that out first before you can do anything, basically. I definitely use third-party tools. I don't know if any of you are using them, but they're, like, my best friend. Like, honestly, I never, like, tell anybody. If they, like, ask about 21 Day Fix, I'll be like, yeah, sure, here's a video real quick. A 3-minute video you can watch. Let me know when you watched it, and I'll get back to you. And I don't know why, but people would rather watch a 3-minute video that is so commercialized that you're like, what? It's like an infomercial, and you're like, this isn't going to work. But they'd rather watch that video than hear you talk about it in a big long paragraph, to be honest. And it gives them a better image in their head of exactly what they're getting in a challenge pack, what's included. Obviously, they probably still have questions. Most people do, like, how does this whole group thing work? You know, what do I get, a shaker cup? I don't know. There's still questions in it. But you can still say that. Be like, hey, let me know when you watch the video, and I can answer whatever questions you have. That obviously leaves the conversation on their end, but if they're not going to respond, you can always leave it there for 3 days and come back to it and be like, hey, did you get a chance to watch the video? Not necessarily that first message back, but you can be like, hey, how are you? You know, and they'll be like, I didn't get a chance to watch the video yet, but I will. So definitely use those third-party tools. I know that I created a file, and I sent it to some of you. It's just like a new iPhone thing. You can like share your notepad on your phone. But I just like saved all like the shortcut YouTube videos to my notes pad. So then I have them to easy access whenever I'm in like my messenger on Facebook. So third-party tools are very helpful. So don't feel like you have to do it alone. I use third-party tools more than anything. And then for your niches, I know that a lot of us did our niches and then we found them, and that's where you should be marketing your people or whatever. I've recently felt like I had ran out of people on my mailing list. Like everybody that I wanted to contact and, you know, work with, I had already reached, and that was like everybody on my friends list. So I had to figure out a way to be able to reach new clients. And so with your niches, you can find specified groups on Facebook, like support groups or, you know, just little addict groups for different like quirky things that you like. Go into those groups and friend request people that you think are going to be similar to your likes. So if you see somebody who's, I don't know, Sammy, your Disney thing, if you go into like a Disney addicts group and you find, you know, a 23-year-old, 24-year-old girl in there that you're like, she looks like she would be a girl that I would hang out with, friend request her and send her a message. Be like, hey, I'm sorry. Like, I just thought that, like, you know, X, Y, and Z on your page was really cool, and we both love Disney, like, you know, and then form her. It's an easy conversation because you don't know really anything about each other, so there's no, like, history. And so it's really easy to have that, like, conversation, start learning things about each other. And they usually don't start creeping on your page because they just added you. So they're like really lenient to talk to you. So I found that was like really successful, and I don't know, that it might not work for everybody though. But that's all I have for posting, and yeah, I didn't really have a subject for tonight's call. So if anybody has any questions or anything, let me know.
Can I share some of the apps I use that might be helpful for y'all?
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever heard of Rana, but there's Rana Designs, Rana Collage, and Rana, let me look here.
It's an app?
Yeah, it's called Rana, and it's RHONNA. So there's like the simple Rana, and then there's Rana Collage and Rana Magic. That's where you can put like filters and stuff, and it's pretty much like Photoshop in 3 different apps.
Oh.
But it's all part of the Rana collection.
Nice.
And then I did want to tell you something else. While you were talking about the third-party thing with the sharing videos and stuff, I just recently found, I don't know why I didn't know before, is if you go into your back office and go, I think it's like challenge group or business guide or whatever, there are talking sheets about each program, exactly what to say to people if they have questions, and it tells you exactly how to answer those questions.
Right. Okay. That's helpful. I know that the back office also has videos on each program. So if you're looking for a specific one, Beachbody definitely has them. They're the same videos on YouTube. It's just sometimes it's harder for you to find them directly through YouTube than it would be just to go to your back online office. I didn't know that.
The other day, I was writing an email to somebody, and I was like, what are some bullet points that I can tell them about this program? And then I found these sheets, so all I had to do is copy paste.
That's convenient. Sarah, do you want to talk about what you sent me earlier? I looked at them, but I never responded to you, so I'm sorry about that.
Yes. Okay, can you guys hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So earlier I sent Sarah some screenshots from my phone, and I might have to grab my charger because it might die. Of some conversations that I was having with people, and I basically just said like, hey, I sent all this information, and it was people that were interested in actually trying it. But then they essentially just like left off, and I said, I don't really know like where to go from here. Like, do you have examples of good conversations that actually led you somewhere? Because I think that's the thing that I'm struggling with most is people will say they're interested, and then it's like the follow-up of, okay, how do you like hook them in? Not that like I'm saying it's not about sales, but I genuinely want to help them. So I guess if anyone has experiences with conversations or like what you said back to people, that would definitely help.
So are you stuck between, so they say they're interested. Are you at the point where you decide, you've had the conversation with them about what program they're interested in doing, or you've not made it that far yet?
No, we definitely made it that far because, I mean, I was looking online at stuff today. I mean, after we've had the conversation this morning, obviously, but like kind of asking them, well, what do you want out of this? Like, you say you're interested in the challenge group, or you're interested in just learning about fitness and nutrition in general. But like, what's your exercise level? What do you enjoy doing? I mean, this one girl today said, I don't want to have to pay all this money to go to the gym. I just toured a gym actually because I just moved, but I just don't want to pay that money. And she was also saying that like she exercises already. She likes to run. She just did boxing and all that stuff. So I kind of got the feel for what she liked. And then I then used the tactic of like, okay, well, you like this stuff. So there are, you know, XYZ programs that I think that you would like to try. And then I asked her, do you want me to send you videos on what those programs are? Like, so she understood like a little bit more of what she would be getting into. And that's kind of where that one left off. But that was also after I researched kind of like what to say to people versus just throwing it all out there of like, oh, you'll get this and this and this, but you know, here's the most popular program. Not knowing like what they actually want to do.
Yeah. Okay. So you're doing all the right things. Sometimes it's really honest.
Hard.
Yeah, it's all in their court at that point.
Mm-hmm.
I just noticed your bottle.
They look how big it is. It's bigger than my head.
They have to be ready. So I mean, you can give them all the tools that you know that you're supposed to, but if they're not ready to commit, they're just not going to be ready to commit. And you don't, and honestly, you don't want those people in your group because they're just going to fall off, and then they're going to be like, you're going to be like, they're going to be mad at you because they spent all this money on a program they're not even using, or they weren't successful in because they didn't complete it.
Right.
But for me, a lot of it is once I find out the program, I usually give them two options. Like after I figure out like what their exercise level is, if they've been exercising, you know, every day for the past 3 years or whatever it is, I give them two program options. I never give them a bunch because that's just a lot of information. It's kind of overwhelming. And then I try to send that order email to their inbox. I know it sounds bad, but I do, because then I can be like, you know, I know you want to think it over, and, you know, if you need time, that's fine. But if you send that order email, it'll sit in there, and sometimes people just like look at it and be like, you know what, whatever. You know, she told me there's a 30-day money back guarantee. You know, we talked about it. You know, I might as well just do it. Or they'll get tired of being like uncomfortable and they don't want to like talk to you about it, but they'll just be like, I'm signing up. So I send out that order email, and then you can always resend it. So like say that you haven't talked to them in 4 months, and then you decide to like reach out with them and just reconnect with them. You can and they decide that it's now the time to do it. You can resend that email so it's at the top of their like feed, or you can modify the email that they got. You can modify the order that they want. Like if there's a new program out and they decide that that's the one they want to do, you can modify it, or they want to change their Shakeology flavor. You can do all that. But I found that those emails are really helpful to just get the one ball and move it to the other court. but it's all up to them. Like you can offer them all the services in the world, but if they're not ready, they're not going to be ready.
I was going to ask you, speaking of that order form, I looked back at our initial conversation because I was like, wait, how did we even get started? Like, how did she get me in that? And I was like, well, I was also adamant about wanting to join, so I was probably an easy person. But how did you create like that order form? So if I'm going to want to send it to someone, because I said, wow, she did that. And that was all way easier than me going on her site and like trying to figure it out myself.
You don't know about Coach Mobile is what you're saying.
Apparently not.
Okay, there's an app. Well, it's not really an app. You go to know what it is. Let's see.
Also, I gotta grab my charger.
You're fine. Coachmobile.teambeachbody.com.
Okay.
And that's not what I need. You log into your coaching account information that you have through Beachbody. You log in and you get the person's email address and their name. And you can select the product that they want, whatever program they want. The Ultimate Reset's on there and the 3-day refresh and all the workout programs. And then whatever flavor Shakeology they want. And it'll send an order email to their inbox. And I always tell people, I'm like, I can send you this order email for whenever, if and when you're ready to order. But it's a no obligation email. So if it's in there, like there's no harm if you decide that it's not the right time.
Okay.
And so I always send those out. And then, this is probably bad, in that app.
It's like, you're aggressive, girl.
In that app, you can resend those emails as often as you like. So I resend all of my emails, the ones that haven't like done anything with them. I resend those probably once a month to everybody that hasn't completed it.
Okay.
And if people ask, I'm like, Beachbody does it. I don't do it.
I'm taking you along for the ride, sorry.
Like, people have to see things 7 to 8 times before they'll commit. Like, that's the statistic. And so if they're ready, like, they'll do it. If they're not, they're just not going to do it. And you just have to accept that as a coach, because you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. So you can help them, but if they're not willing to help themselves, that's kind of a lost cause. But it's kind of a work in progress. I mean, for a long time, I was getting a lot of no responses, and I still get a lot of no responses, but you just have to reach out to more people. Those people that don't respond, just be like, okay, I'll come back to you in a month, so.
I know, I was going to say, because you were like super successful your first couple of months. Well, I mean, every month, seriously, but I just don't know how you do it.
It's just reaching out to people. That's all
I know. I'm trying.
People, not even about Beachbody, just talk to them. That people love when you talk to them about themselves. I'm not even kidding you. That's all you have to do. Just talk to them. And 9 times out of 10, Beachbody will come up because it's part of your life. And they're like, what are you doing? I want to know.
Working out.
And they're like, oh, let me do it with you. And you're like, okay, I can handle this. So, yeah. Don't give up. I know it's like really deceiving and like annoying because you're like, really? And see, you looked at it, but.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't want to give up. I had that mentality on like Saturday, Sunday. I was like,
I had that mentality like 2 days ago. And I was like, really, Sarah? Come on.
Don't do it. Okay. Well, that's good then.
Yeah.
As long as everything's on the right track. No,
you're doing good. It's just some people are just aren't, they're not ready. They'll come around though. They usually do. It took me 9 months to buy my challenge back, so if that says anything.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Have any questions? We have a couple minutes. No. Miranda, do you want to introduce yourself? That's Miranda, by the way. She's new. She's probably
Sorry, hi everyone.
So she's probably like, what are you guys talking about? Because we haven't even done our welcome call yet. So she's like, what is it?
It's cool listening though.
Yeah. You're going to be like, oh, that's what she was talking about later. Did Carissa, Sammy, Sarah, somebody missing? I don't know. Did you guys reach your 10 people today? I know Sammy did.
No, I got
You got what?
9.
Oh, well, go reach that one person, dude. You still got
I know. got like super busy. I was gonna try to reach out to Bree when I went and got my hair cut, but then Williams.
I already talked to her. She's a no-go.
I know. So she like dropped your name in like the conversation before I even said anything about Beachbody.
I've been hounding her.
I was like, okay.
I need to get off of her. Because she was like, I'm an order. And I was like, okay, great. But when I'm getting paid? And I was like, well, when are you getting paid? She was like, next week. And I was like, okay, mark this on my calendar. She never did it. I don't think she's going to do it. She'll come around. It's tough.
Yeah, so
Small
I
town.
dropped your name and I was like, okay, maybe I shouldn't try her.
I know. We keep overlapping. Did you ever get to Emma?
She told me, because she lives next to my parents, so she told me that she would let me know the next time she's free and she would come over and try different shakes or something. And I was like, okay.
Right. Yeah. All right. Well, you guys want to take a picture?
Yeah.
Ooh. One question though, before we all do that. So the clean eating challenge next week, are we offering like any type of Shakeology stuff? Like, are they supposed to be trying Shakeology, or is that only if they want to?
I've read that the top coaches do, you can buy 5 samples from them for $25 through PayPal, but I feel like unless they're like jumping on it tonight or tomorrow, it's kind of iffy to do. And
Okay.
you have a big stock of it. You know, we're not going to, we're going to say you can include it in the meal plan, but you don't have to have it.
Okay.
We'll just have like an alternative protein for it.
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect.
Sarah, have you done a clean eating challenge through the Tracker app? Because I've tried to do it before, and you have to actually select the program. I don't think you can do free programs through the Tracker.